We are not gays. We equally reject attempts to prescribe new rights that are contrary to our values, norms, traditions, and beliefs.
In Africa, culture and tradition often guides our societal norms and values. Over the years, the issue of LGBTQI rights has actually sparked global debates, with Africa not an exemption. Our leaders in Africa and even our citizens and even those Pan-Africanists have been taking strong and vocal stances against its acceptance in the continent of Africa. Today, Africa is Marwa wants to explore what some of these leaders have said and why they believe their views are actually rooted into the African traditions and our cultural integrity. And I'm majorly going to focus on why they have a strong stance against, the rights of homosexuals in the continent of Africa. This actually comes after, currently 30 out of the 54 states in our continent have, signed laws that are against homosexuals or LGBTQI, the gays' rights and all that. One African leader that I want us to actually start with is the former president of Kenya, Kenyatta. In 2018, Uhuru made headlines during an interview with CNN's Christiane Amanpour when she asked about LGBTQ rights in Kenya. Uhuru stated clearly that while the matter is of significance on the global debate, it is not an issue of human rights in Kenya, but rather one that is dictated by societal norms. And he stressed on the subject that it is not on the Kenyan agenda at the moment because our cultural beliefs and our societal values do not actually align with the LGBTQ rights.
In Kenya, to be gay, the LGBT community is illegal. They just want to have equal rights, the same privacy and equality as all other Kenyans do. Is that something that you aspire to for your country?
I want to be very clear, Christiana. I will not engage in a subject that is of no, it is not of any major importance to the people and the Republic of Kenya. This is not an issue, as you would want to put it, of human rights or this. This is an issue of society, of our own base as a culture, as a people, regardless of which community you come from. This is not acceptable. This is not agreeable. This is not about Uhuru Kenyatta saying yes or no. This is an issue that the people of Kenya themselves, who have bestowed upon themselves a constitution, right, after several years, have clearly stated that this is not a subject that they are willing to engage in, yeah, at this time and moment. In years to come, possibly long after I'm president, who knows? Maybe our society will have reached a stage where those are issues that people are willing, freely, and open to discuss. I have to be honest with you. And that is the position that we have always maintained. Those are the laws that we have, and those are laws that are 100% supported by 99% of the Kenyan people, irregardless of where they come from.
So I
It's a very
you're going to get yourself into trouble.
Mm.
Because what you've categorically just stated is that this is not an issue for us, for the Kenyan people,
Yes.
and you don't think that the idea of their privacy, their equality, their rights is important.
This is,
but it's a global issue right now.
It's important to them where they are.
Why is it not
I am
important
saying
to you
that it
as
is
president
not
of the country?
important to me as the leader of 49 million Kenyans. And after, if you want to ask me my personal opinion,
What is your personal opinion?
after I finish my process, I can talk about my personal opinion. But as the leader of the people of the Republic of Kenya, I represent that which our people are desirous to be. And I have no choice but That is my position.
Would you publicly say that people who are LGBT, gay members of the Kenyan population should not be discriminated against, should not be violated, should not be abused?
No Kenyan should be abused, should be, mistreated in any particular. Every Kenyan is protected by law, every single Kenyan. But they also must recognize that their freedoms must be taken into the entire context of the society that they live in. Because this is not a question of governments accepting or not accepting. This is a question of society, right?
Currently, it's a legal process.
Yes. And that legal process is based on the society that you live in, and that's why laws are made. So I think that's all I have to say about that particular subject. Is that Kenya and the United States, we share so many values. Our common love for democracy, entrepreneurship, value for families. These are things that we share. But there are some things that we must admit we don't share. Our culture, our societies don't accept. It's very difficult for us to be able to impose on people that which they themselves do not accept. This is why I repeatedly say that for Kenyans today, the issue of gay rights is really a non-issue. We want to focus on other areas that are day-to-day living for our people. The health issues that we have discussed with President Obama, these are critical. Issues of ensuring inclusivity and of women, a huge section of society that is normally left out of the mainstream of economic development. What we can do in terms of infrastructure, what we can do in terms of education, in terms of our roads, in terms of giving our people power, encouraging entrepreneurship. These are the key focuses. Maybe once, like you have, overcome some of these challenges, we can begin to look at new ones. But as of now, the fact remains that this issue is not really an issue that is on the foremost mind of Kenyans, and that is the fact.
Well, before we even move from Kenya to other African states, it didn't just end there with CNN, with Kenyan presidents. Recently, after President William Ruto was elected, he was put on the same interview as Uhurukenyatta. But he also made his position very clear in a speech. He reaffirmed that Kenya is a nation guided by traditional values and that there's no room for, homosexuals or LGBTQI acceptance. He actually insisted that our cultures and traditions as Kenyans are way against the LGBTQ right or homosexuality in the country.
You yourself gained worldwide attention a few years ago when you said there was, quote, no room for homosexuality in Kenyan society. I want to know whether you still stand by that.
We have Kenyan law, we have Kenyan constitution, we have our tradition, we have our customs. We will continue to respect other people's customs as they respect our customs and our tradition. I am very clear that we respect everybody and what they believe in, but we also have what we believe in, and we expect to be respected for what we believe in.
Will a Ruto administration crack down, like many other leaders in Africa, on the homosexual LGBTQ community, or will you allow them their human rights and their civil rights?
I think on that subject, President Kenyatta was spot on. We do not want to create a mountain out of a molehill. This is not a big issue for the people of Kenya. When it becomes a big issue for the people of Kenya will make a choice. As it is now, we are grappling with 5 million young people who do not have jobs, 4 million people who are hungry, and that is my concern. That is the focus of the people of Kenya at the moment. when the issue you have discussed about homosexuality and the rights of LGBT will come, the people of Kenya will make a choice, and we will respect the choice of the people of Kenya. For now, Christian Amanpour, let us focus on the real issues that affect our people.
As you know, Mr. President, with respect, these are real issues that affect so many people around the world. But we will hold you to what you said, and we'll come back to you if the situation requires it, which
no problem.
Probably it will.
It's not just presidents in Africa, but also Pan-African voices have come out so clearly against the LGBTQI rights in the African continent. Renowned Pan-Africanist and orator Plolumumba has often linked the rejection of LGBTQI rights to the preservation of African identity. In one of his speeches, he actually argued that embracing such ideas is a form of neocolonialism, which I believe is very true. And as he always says, that Africa must resist the imposition of foreign ideologies that threaten our identity and culture. Homosexuality actually is not one of our traditions. It's a Western import. He has actually been so vocal about it and even instigating journalists who seem most of the time to be promoters of this ideology of LGBTQI in the African continent.
Go to Bahrain, they'll never go to Brunei, they'll never go to Saudi Arabia, they'll never go to Indonesia to tell them. It is Africans who they think are tails to be wagged. So on this issue, the government of the Uganda and the people of Uganda, I am with them 100%. There is no freedom outside of the law.
How do you balance the decision or right to choose?
Choose what? The choice must be limited according to the mores of a different community. And in any event, should we be talking about LGBTQ when we have no food on the table? And the danger, including with you journalists, is that now when you interview people, you have your own position that you want to impose on us. We refuse. We know.
In the United Nations Human Rights Council.
But the United Nations Human Rights Council, is it some god? Is it not a body that is composed of human beings who have created a body where some are permanent members and some are not permanent members? Remember, in matters of morality, numbers don't matter. It is the mores. You may disagree with me, but I'm telling you without batting an eyelid and unapologetically that some of us oppose LGBTQ, and you who are anchors, I'm now telling you, because I've seen it with other anchors from other parts of the world, you have a position and you want to impose on us. We refuse. Yours is to midwife, to ensure that my views, if others have a different view, you go and interview them. But from where I sit, I oppose LGBTQ with every ounce in my life.
Including that they must be...
Who said they must be? No, there is nobody who has said that. I want you to read the law. They have not said that.
This strong stance is not just unique to Kenya. You know, leaders like Uganda President Yoweri Museveni, Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan, they have repeatedly signed anti-LGBTQ laws, citing that they need to protect African values. In one of the statements, Museveni actually says that we are not interested in what others are doing. They can do that in their countries. In Uganda, we have our own values. Just the same as we say in Africa, we have our own values. For Samia Suluhu, she said, Tanzania is a land of culture and traditions. We cannot adopt foreign policies. And this is a message across the African continent. They're speaking in one voice against, the issues that is being imposed to the African continent about the rights of homosexuals or LGBTQI.
Well, we have been disappointed for a long time by the conduct of the West, the way you conduct yourselves there. But we just keep quiet. We just see how you do things, how the families, how they are organized, in all these things. We see them, we keep quiet. We never comment. because it's not our country, maybe you like it. So, since there is now an attempt at social imperialism to impose social values of one group on our society, then our disappointment is now exacerbated, because we are sorry to see that you live the way you live, but we keep quiet about it. Now you say we must also live like us. That's why we say no. We say no. And am I worried? Not at all. We should be worried about what? Because to tango needs two people to dance. If the West doesn't want to work with us because of homosexuals, then we have enough space here to live by ourselves and do business with other people.
Thank you.
We equally reject attempts to prescribe new rights that are contrary to our values, norms, traditions, and beliefs. We are not gays. Cooperation and respect for each other will advance the cause of human rights worldwide. Confrontation, vilification, and double standards will not. Mr. President, self-determination and independence are intrinsic and fundamental rights that should be enjoyed by all peoples everywhere without distinction. We are deeply concerned by the continued denial of this basic right to the Sahrawi people. We urge the United Nations to expeditiously finalize what must be done to conclude the decolonization of the Western Sahara.
LGBT.
Homosexuality.
Yes. It hasn't been our problem. And we don't intend to make it a problem. So we are struggling with all kinds of problems we have, and as I said earlier, we want to have everybody involved, participating. That means, as I said, being there for each other again is because we mind being supportive of each other, we mind the stability that comes with allowing people to live in harmony. And I think we've made good progress on that. So this far, since, as I said, that is not a big problem for us, I don't want to make it a problem.
We'll take a question.
Well, this leader's strong statements have actually sparked widespread debate. On one hand, proponents of their views argue that African nations have the right to uphold their cultural and traditional beliefs. On the other hand, global human rights advocates believe that such stances contribute to discrimination and exclusion. Well, it's a conversation that goes beyond African borders, touching on the broader themes of sovereignty, cultural preservation, and the balance between global and local values. As Africa continues to evolve in a rapidly globalizing world, these stances reflect the continents struggle to balance tradition, with modernity. While the perspectives of our leaders like Uhurukenyatta, William Ruto, plolumumba, Samia Suluhu, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni may highly resonate with many, they also serve as a reminder of the complexities of our cultures, rights, and leadership. So tell me, what do you think? Are these leaders protecting African values, or do these views actually hinder progress? Yes, that was it for today. Thank you very much for tuning up to the end of this video. I really appreciate the support that I've been getting since starting Africa is Marwa 1 month ago. Let us keep on subscribing, keep on liking our videos, and hit on that notification bar so that anytime Africa is Marwa posts a video, it pops up on your timeline. Also, engage in the comment section. Tell me, what do you think? Are these the true reflection of our Africanicity? Is this what you want in Africa? Or these leaders are just being a bit harsh on our cultural values and they don't want to, keep up with the global space? Thank you once more. Please don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. You can tell me at the comment section what you want to hear more about Africa, and we'll be able to bring it here because we truly want to take the ownership of Africa. Bye-bye.